he stabbed Elizabeth Zhong to very vulnerable parts of her body: her head, her neck, her back. The number of times he did so, he stabbed her and cut her many more than 20 times. And we know what those injuries included. There was that significant injury to the right of the neck, cutting through 2 major blood vessels. That was neck injury 5. Neck injury 6 to the left of the neck, again cutting through a deep stab wound, both of them 8 centimetres deep. There was that other wound 9 centimetres down the front of her chin. Multiple wounds to her back, including 4 that penetrated through to her lungs, which would have, without medical treatment, been fatal in their own right. And of course, that what was described as a stab, incised chop wound along the back of Ms. Zhong's neck. The pathologist's evidence in relation to that was, while it could have been caused by a single implement, it would have required significant force applied by the assailant. And this, of course, was what the pathologist described as a subtotal decapitation. It cut through the muscles at the back of the head, the 2 major arteries, the spinal cord, and the bones that make up that structure of the neck. As he said in his evidence, Fang Sun nearly cut Ms. Zhong's head off. So I suggest to you that the answer to that 3rd question must also be yes. At the time when he inflicted those injuries, he clearly intended to kill Ms. Zhong. In fact, you might consider it was a planned, a focused, and a determined attack to achieve precisely that outcome. The Crown says that based on the evidence, you can be sure that Gareth Kayes did not kill Ms. Zhong. There was no reason for him to do so, and he was at home when she was murdered. Instead, you can be sure it was Fang Sun who killed Ms. Zhong, and that when he did so, he intended to kill her. Crown says you can be sure that Fang Sun is guilty of murder. I suggest to you, and it won't be lost on any of you, that the bitter dispute over money is what prompted this violent retribution. We know Mr. Sun blames Elizabeth Zhong for losing him $26 million. Certainly he's tried to use legal proceedings to get that money back, but I suggest he's had to watch after asset disappeared without him seeing a cent. Crown says that Fang Sun was angry enough to threaten to kill her and angry enough to follow through on those threats. I suggest that Fang Sun's feelings for Ms. Zhong can be seen no more clearly than in his obsessive surveillance of her. As you know, in around July 2020, he hired Jun Jin to follow Ms. Zhong to sit outside her house. He seemed willing to pay $30,000 for Mr. Jin to do that. How can Gareth Kayes frame Fang Sun if he doesn't know where he lives? And the answer is quite simple. He couldn't, and he didn't.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.